Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning in. This is Victoria with Brandwell, and today I'm going to go over the 7 ways to grow your business in 2020. So this is a PDF that I created for my mastermind group that I lead, and I wanted to share it with you guys as well because I know that it's going to be helpful information, and it's all stuff that I'm either doing or have done in my business that's helped me see a lot of growth. So what we're going to talk about today are setting clear goals, having the right mindset, being consistent, building an email list, identifying your money maker, surprise and delighting your customers, and then repeating those 6 steps and how often you need to repeat them. So let's dive right in and talk about goal setting. It's January, so everybody's talking about their resolutions, but this is different than a New Year's resolutions. What I want you to look at in your business is, where are you now? Where do you want to be at the end of the year? And then this is the most important step. What are 3 ways you can start working towards that goal this week? If you don't start right away on working towards your goals, they're just ideas or wishes. So where are you now? It's important to understand where you are financially. So what are your numbers? Mentally, are you invested in your business? And physically, how do others see you in your business? Then think about, where do you want to be at the end of the year? This is where you establish or maybe reestablish the why of your business. If it's just a number, you likely won't hit it. So for example, if I were to just say, I want to make 6 figures in my business this year, but I have no why, no motivation, no reasoning for that, I'm probably not going to hit that goal. So you have to identify where you want to be and why you want to be there. For example, here's mine. By the end of 2020, I want to have a thriving template shop that sustains an income for my business so that I can enjoy maternity leave and be present with my daughter. So the next step is, what are 3 things that you can start working on this week that is going to get you closer to achieving that goal? So a goal is just an idea if you don't put immediate action behind it. Establish 3 things you can do right away to start inching you closer toward your goal. In my case, my goal is I want to have a thriving template shop by the end of the year. So what I did right away, literally in the first week of the year, is I created a list of templates that I wanted to sell in my shop. I looked for and hired a template designer. And 3, I began a launch strategy to help create hype around my new shop. So I started working on Instagram posts, email marketing tips, all these different ways that I could start to build up some excitement so that when I actually do launch, people already know about it, they're excited about it, and they're ready to buy. The next step in growing your business this year is your mindset. Mindset is everything. So first off, what do you think of your business? Second, what do others think of your business? And then how are you going to change your mindset and the mindset of others towards your business? So the first thing, what do I think of my business? Be honest with yourself. Get a sheet of paper right now for me and write down, what do you think of your business? Is it a spark? Is it a flame? Is it a blazing fire, like you're crushing it, you're killing it, it's growing rapidly? Or maybe it's just embers. It's kind of fizzled out. You haven't really given it much energy in the last 6 months or a year. Where are you at? You just got to identify it. Call it out for what it is. Then what do you think others think of your business? How do you think other people perceive you? This usually determines how you think of yourself, and it can really limit your potential if you let it. So again, write it down on that same piece of paper. Do others see you as maybe bigger than you are, or a thriving business? Are you getting those comments on Instagram all the time? Girl, you're killing it. You're crushing it. I wish my business was as big as yours. Or do you think that others really don't take you seriously? Maybe this is the 2nd or 3rd business that you've started. Just be honest with yourself. How do you think other people perceive your business? And then the next one is, how am I going to change my mindset and the mindset of others towards my business? So think of yourself as bigger than you are. This is huge, and I swear it is a lot of the reason for the success that I've seen with Brandwell over the last 12 months. Whatever goal you wrote down at the beginning of this presentation, act as though you are already there. So you know the saying, dress for the job you want, not the job that you have. When you act like a big business, People will perceive you as professional and trustworthy. And a lot of this has to do with how you talk about your business online and to your friends. So stop referring to it as a little side hustle and give yourself credit for all of the hard work you have already put in. I made the shift back in October, so really just recently for me, to stop calling Brandwell my side hustle or this little business that I started. And I actually was asked this morning what I do. And I said, I own a web design company called Brandwell. So treat your business like a true business that you've worked hard to take this idea and turn it into something profitable. All right. You can stop referring to it as a side hustle, even if you are working full time. So one tip that I have here, really, I believe strongly in this, invest early on in your software or design that will help your business appear bigger than it is. So something I learned right away within the first 90 days of having a business is having a professional contract that I could send my customers, and as well as a professional way of invoicing them was critical. I didn't feel right when I sent that first PayPal invoice to my customer, and it went to a PayPal email that didn't even have my business name in it. It was like Tori Matheson at something.com. I mean, come on, that wasn't even my current last name. So make sure that you do take a little bit of money, whether you have to invest a little of your personal money or if you have some business money that you can reinvest. I highly recommend getting professional contracts, a welcome packet that you can send to your new customers, a website that looks good. You don't have to go spend thousands of dollars on a custom website right away, but make sure that you have a website that looks somewhat professional and it does your business justice. And then invoicing tools. So I have in bold writing, your clients should not be Venmoing you if you want them to view you as professional. Okay, it's all good. We all get our free pass for the first 2 or 3 invoices that you send out. No more Venmoing though. Get a legit software. You can still use PayPal, just make sure it's at a business email address. I use something called Square. It's awesome. It keeps track of all of my invoicing. I know there's other things out there like Intuit or QuickBooks, Honeybook, so many different things. Just do your research, get on Google, find out what works for you and what fits your budget, and make sure you invest in coming out as professional early on in your business. Next step is consistency. Consistency is key. So what I always like to encourage my mastermind girls and my customers is, what platforms do you want to master? You have to come to terms with the fact that early on in your business, you cannot master all of the platforms. Maybe someday when you've got a whole team working with you, you'll be able to have an awesome, outstanding presence on all these different social media platforms. But at the beginning, if it's just you, you need to pick out which one you want to try and do well. So if you try and do everything well, you will likely do nothing well. I always recommend pick 1 to 3 platforms that you're going to commit to mastering and then start showing up consistently. For me, when I started Brandwell at the beginning of January 2019, I committed to showing up consistently with Instagram and email marketing. That was it. I didn't have a Pinterest. I didn't have Facebook. I just wanted to focus on those 2 platforms. The next step, and this is really going to allow you to master one of these platforms, is how will I create content? So I love to create pillars, or otherwise known as categories, for content. So you come up with 4 to 6 of these different pillars that you can use on a rotation when you're sharing your content. I'm going to give you mine. When I'm sharing content on, let's say, Instagram for now, I pick every day, am I going to share a design that I've done? Am I going to share behind the scenes of my work? Maybe show my office, maybe show me working at Starbucks. Am I going to share client feedback, what somebody has said about working with me? Or am I going to share something motivational just to encourage other small business owners to, stay motivated and keep going? Those are my 4 pillars. If you're like a fashion blogger, you might share outfits one day. You might share health and beauty tips one day. You might share a workout. You might share a how to pair jeans 5 different ways. There's so many different pillars that you can have, but just come up with 4 to 6 different ones. And then every day, pick from one of those pillars, and there's your content idea for the day. So the last question is, how often will I show up for my audience? If you don't have a plan for social media or your email marketing, you're inevitably going to have spurts of posting, and then you're going to disappear when you, quote unquote, run out of content. So set a clear goal and stick to it. Even if this looks like mapping out all of your content at the beginning of the month, I respect and admire the crap out of people who put out all of their content at the beginning of the month. I still post in real time every morning, 5 days a week. That's just what works for me. But I do think that either way, just make sure that you stay consistent. So the example in my business is I decided I'm going to show up 5 times per week on Instagram. So Monday through Friday, I don't post on the weekends. And then 2 times per month via email. Each morning before I even open my inbox, I prepare my post using one of my 4 pillars. And then at the beginning of the month, I pick out 2 different email topics to send it out, and then I stick to it. So important. Keep yourself accountable. Pick how many days a week. Maybe it's not 5 days a week yet. Maybe it's 3. But set those days out. Put a reminder on your phone, whatever you have to do. Stick to it. Be consistent. It's going to make all the difference. Next step, building an email list. You guys have heard how important this is, but I really can't stress it enough. It's a game changer in my business, and it's going to be one in yours too. How to start. So don't make the mistake of almost every entrepreneur, including myself, and wait until you are an established business to start your list. Just start. Sign up for a free MailChimp account, or if you have a little bit of funds, I highly recommend Flowdesk. That's what I use. My emails look awesome, if I do say so myself, and it's just a really great account. But MailChimp is free. That's what I started with. It's great. Next, just start collecting emails. So some tips. You have to give the people what they want in order to get their email address. So stop hoping people are going to scroll down to the footer of your website and willingly pass out their email address. Some of the freebies that I've offered before with Brandwell have been a Canva template that I designed, a how-to guide. I gave away free Christmas printables last month, maybe early access to something. If you sell a course and you want people to get in on it early, you can encourage them to get on your email list. Maybe it's a discount for something. Also, this is a huge tip, guys. You would be amazed how many people are willing to give you their email address on Instagram if you give them the chance. So a lot of times I start talking about something that I'm going to be sending out in an email. Maybe it's even something really personal. Like I found out back in September that I was pregnant, and I wanted to have a fun way to announce that surprise to my subscribers. So I kind of teased it on Instagram. I said, you guys, I have a really big announcement I'm going to share with my email list on Friday. Drop your email here. And I put one of those little question box up on Instagram, and you'll get on the list. And I'm not kidding. I did the numbers. I have grown 20% of my list through Instagram stickers, people dropping their email for me, because people are lazy, right? They don't want to get off Instagram, go to your website, find where they subscribe. They just want it to be easy. So you got to make it easy for them. Most people don't start their list because they don't know what to say. So one thing, I really recommend Jenna Kutcher's course, List to Launch. I took that last year, and it was really helpful in giving me a little bit more clarity on what to say. But when you're emailing your list, there are 5 different things that you can do. So you can pique their interest, you can teach them something new, you can create urgency about something, you can spark their curiosity, or you can sell something. So some tips: share a freebie, show them behind the scenes of your business, humanize your business by telling a personal story. Like for instance, when I sent out to my list about me getting pregnant and how I surprised my husband, ask them questions or announce new launches in your business. So I recently announced to my email list that I'm launching templates in the spring. So there are so many different things that you can do to email your audience. And again, you don't have to be emailing them every day. So this is one that you don't have to worry about coming up with so much content. Just pick, what do I want to do? Do I want to share a freebie? Do I want to tell them a little bit about what I'm working on? Do I want to share some client feedback along with the designs that I did this month? What is it that you're going to send your list? And then lastly, again, like the social media, how often are you going to show up? In my opinion, once a month, no excuses. The whole point of an email list is to stay at the forefront of people's minds. So you aren't going to be selling in every email. Please don't sell in every email. Just show up often enough that they know who you are and what your business is all about. So I strive to do 2 per month, but I would really like to get that up to 4 by the end of the year. Next step, identify your money maker. This one's really important, guys, and I see a lot of people missing the mark on this. So you have to look at what's going well in your business. So take some time to review your financials for the last 6 months. What was your most popular product or service? And then also, what do you enjoy doing the most? So you have to kind of find where those two line up. That is where your moneymaker is. So what you enjoy that's also selling, that's your moneymaker, okay? For example, if you love shooting portraits, if you're a photographer, but you booked the least number of portrait sessions over the last 6 months, that's probably not your moneymaker. You don't have to stop doing it, but it's not gonna be at the forefront of all of your marketing. Another example, I love to do website redesigns because it's quick and it allows me to take on more customers. I also looked back and I saw that I had sold more redesigns than I did full websites last year. So therefore, that's definitely a moneymaker for me, and I need to continually promote that service. On the flip side, I used to offer consulting, and it had the potential to make a lot of money. I was getting the most per hour doing that than I do with any of my design work, but I really didn't enjoy doing it. So I actually steered away from offering that so I could better identify my priorities and what I enjoyed doing. So how can I build on what's already going well? Once you've established what your moneymaker is, that thing that you enjoy doing that's also selling, you need to find out how to scale that part of your business. So this might look like spending less time working on the other parts of your business so that you can spend more time on your moneymaker. Maybe that's hiring a virtual assistant to help you with some admin work so you can create more content that promotes that moneymaker. Let's say you're a photographer and your moneymaker is shooting weddings, okay? So if you are on Saturdays, if that's your time to like really, catch up on all your emails and create stuff for your business, it might be time to get a VA to help you do that so you can be out shooting weddings because that's your moneymaker. That's inevitably what's going to scale your business. So next up is how can, another example. So I knew that the more website redesigns I could sell, the more profitable my business would be. I needed to be marketing and selling the product. So I hired a couple of freelance website designers. This is in the last 90 days for me. And they helped me complete more websites per month so that I could, way more than I could have completed on my own. And that allowed me to keep scaling that website redesign service that was a moneymaker in my business over the last year. Okay, so establish your moneymaker, find out how you can spend more time scaling that part of your business and less time working on the others. The next one and the final one is surprise and delight. I'm really big on this, you guys, and I think you should be too. Enhance your customer's experience. So find little ways to constantly enhance the experience that you give your customers. If you are a service-based business, send them a welcome packet that clearly outlines what it will look like while they're working with you. Maybe you sell a tangible product. How can you improve your packaging in a way that sets you apart and makes your customer excited to receive what you are selling? If you sell a digital product, make sure that your branding is consistent so you eliminate any confusion and you give your clients a seamless experience. So that's just the part of the surprise and delight. That's what your clients are going to expect from you, right? They're going to expect that you clearly outline things and you communicate with them well. They're going to expect your brand to be consistent. Anything less is going to be a disappointment. So the next step is to go above and beyond. Always find a way to underpromise and overdeliver for your customers. So whatever they are paying you to do a little more. You can send them a gift. You can maybe speed up your delivery time, or you could write them a handwritten thank you card. There's so many different ways where you can surprise them and delight them throughout the process of working with you. So an example in my business, just one example, I do this in a lot of different ways, but my clients expect to get their logo within 2 weeks. I always try to deliver their logo within a week, no questions asked. Whatever I need to do on the back end to clear my schedule to make sure that I can hit that time frame, it gets them excited. It keeps the momentum going. So find little ways where you can constantly show up, surprise, and delight your customers, because what's going to happen is their experience is going to be so good that they start to tell other people about you, and therefore they're doing your marketing for you. The last step is to repeat those 6 steps every 6 months. So it's not enough once a year to sit down and look at what your business goals are. Halfway through the year, make sure you sit down. Where are you at in achieving those goals? Are you behind? Are you ahead? If you're ahead, maybe you could stretch those goals and add some to it, or maybe you could just make it a little bit bigger of a goal. Whatever it is, you need to go back, reevaluate where you're at, How do you perceive your business? How do others perceive your business? Are you getting closer to where you wanted to be by the end of the year? And if not, what do you need to do? What actionable steps can you take today to get yourself closer? I hope this was helpful, guys. I'm so excited for you all and your businesses in 2020. I hope it's a great year of growth.